Hey everybody, this is the semifinals between Crest Gaming Act and V3 for the LJL Summer 2019 split. I'm going to go ahead, hit play. Got the volume up a little bit more. Hopefully you guys hear at least the important bits. Actually, I'm going to bring it down a little bit so it's not raging in my ears so that you can get some of that in-game audio. Finally had time in the day. I do not know where this series goes. I'm not sure which team ends up winning. I do know that it goes to all 5 games. As my wife did tell me, I wanted her to look at the results and tell me how long does this game go, because I need to know how much time I need to put aside in the day. And she told me it went to that sweet 5 games, which I need to set aside a lot of time. So finally having that is the middle of the week, so a little bit later than when I wanted to have this done, because this game did just happen this past weekend. But we should be in for an exciting series, because this is Crest Gaming Act versus V3 Esports. To go up, who the winner here goes against Detonation Focus Me. We already see that couple of bands coming on in the typical grouping coming in as far as the Yumi and Akali, no surprises there. But it looks like some target bands coming out from Crest Gaming Act. The split between here, Crest Gaming Act and V3, while Crest Gaming Act does end up holding 2 wins over V3 during the regular season. V3 actually picked up the most recent win against Crest Gaming Act, and a lot of that had to do with the Tahm Kench. Yutori Mash also on the Ezreal, so very monstrous on that champion. They want to at least take away the safety of Tahm Kench, even though he has been nerfed at this point in 9.16. He's still receiving so much love. It's just so hard to bench the Kench. I think it's coming soon. I think we're getting close. I don't actually expect that to be a Kindred or the Karth. Whoa, okay. Crest Gaming Act making a big move out of the gate, going with Karthus. I find this surprising. I thought Gragas was going to be a top priority for both of these teams, as Gragas is a significant, the typical choice for Baby on the side of V3. At least he does enjoy that champion, and I think that would actually be a decent matchup into the Karthus. Maybe Baby was favoring that Karthus at the end of the split. I'm not sure the recency of that. I do see that he has a couple of games on that, at least 2 games during the regular season. V3 Esports getting an opportunity to pick up the Xayah, possibly the Rakan. They may just hold out on that Rakan, pick up a jungler for themselves or a solo laner. They do have the counter pick, so they expect that they're going to hold out for that counter pick on the later end of this pick ban phase. Instead, they're going to go for the safety of an Aatrox. Now, for Crest Gaming Act, this is actually the first Karthus that we've seen out of Hachimecha. Now, I'm assuming this is going in the jungle. That's quite typically what it is. You just kind of safely farm through the jungle. You need to take some precautions for it. Whoa, and Pantheon too. Okay, Crest Gaming Act pulling out all the punches right now, going kind of hard curveball. But I do like to see this, actually. I mean, they are considered the favorites, and this is the first game of the series. Kind of go all out, go get a little bit crazy, see if you can sort of see how you can beat V3, see what they're going to be throwing out there. The Rakan as expected coming out from V3. But on the Crest Gaming Act side, you've got essentially 2 globals already, the Pantheon ulti being not exactly a global, but large enough range on that. Safety with the Braum, so that kind of will help them out just a bit in the Xayah Rakan lane, so maybe opting for that safety. Could always go for a Ezreal for themselves to really lay into that safety, but they do also favor that Sivir as well. In V3, maybe they know something that they must know something I don't know, because banning the Lucian, going for that target bans, but Sivir, I mean, Art has not played Lucian this entire split so far. I do find that as an interesting ban. Gragas ban doesn't surprise me too much, as we do know that Baby has had some success on that champion, one of his higher played champions this split so far. I mean, he's got quite the variety of champions. I mean, 3 games, but you would expect that to be the champion to go to. I'd expect that he'd probably do relatively well into the Karthus jungle. And Camille getting taken off the table here, as they know that that is a decent counter into the Aatrox. At least can do some work into the Aatrox. But I'll be interested to see what Nap decides. We don't know a vast majority of the champions. He does the Aatrox pickup by V3 is actually pretty important here. To deny that from Nab, because that is his highest comfort champion. After getting swapped out for Grendel, they usually just threw him on Aatrox, threw him up on that top lane. Sort of called it a day, as it were. And there's that Ezreal coming out for Crest Gaming Act. So, going for that safety lane. Although they did take away the Tom Kench, they did clearly ban it so that V3 Esports could not allow Vivid to get that for himself, but still opting for the safety lane of the Ezreal Braum. Imagine they're just going to get pushed under turret quite a bit against the Rakan Xayah lane, as Xayah does have the advantage in that lane for herself. And so, Crest Gaming Act, I am not sure. They've got quite the cool team composition here. The Renekton and Pantheon, they could go either mid or top. I would almost like, depending on either laner, they could just do an easy swap as well. Still expecting the Karthus in the jungle. That must be it, unless Pantheon's going there. But Karthus mid, seems a little off the wall. V3 answering with an Olaf for themselves. Olaf jumping in priority pretty significantly, especially with the Sejuani bans. Does have a very strong clear currently. I imagine Trundle will probably be showing up event down the road as a way to answer the Olaf, as that nice ice pillar to sort of slow him down in some way, because once he pops that Ragnarok, hard to stop that guy. But nice clear, and should be able to match the Karthus relatively well, and maybe even go ahead and invade on that Karthus so he doesn't just get to free farm all the time. So I believe that Pantheon was in the mid lane, so we'll be able to provide support to both side lanes here. If any crazy business does happen in the jungle, Pantheon will be able to go ahead, dive into the jungle to help out the Karthus. But a lot of power on that level 6 for the side of Crest Gaming Act. Going to be waiting for, hoping for some early aggression from Baby here onto the Olaf. Sort of a different champion than I'm used to seeing Hachimecha on. I'm used to seeing him being a little bit more aggressive, or maybe even going for those, typically staying with the tank champions that have decent engage, because I've seen him play Xin Zhao before, where it's like he plays this sort of more forward, front-facing, aggressive champion that's supposed to dive in, but he gets kind of burst down just a little bit too much. So very interested to see how this Karthus plays out in this. Looking for some plays around level 6 once all those ultimates come in. V3, much more straightforward team comp besides that Mordekaiser. I'm not sure how this Mordekaiser Pantheon lane is actually going to work. I mean, V3 confident in this pick clearly, is they opted into that pick knowing that Pantheon was on the table. I still think it's completely possible that Nap and Luna could swap lanes here if they do not like the matchup, but we do know that Renekton has been going into Aatrox here and there and can go ahead and take care of that lane if need be. So quite the lovely matchups here. I think a lot of people do expect Crest Gaming Act to take this series, as they have had the better season record overall. That seems to be the most straightforward thing. Hopefully once we get in a game, we see where the fan vote lies and how things all unfold here for the side of this semifinals game. Other than that, still just excited to see how these teams develop, because the winner here, as mentioned earlier already, goes against Detonation Focus Me, a team that has just been the long-standing champions of the LJL, the representatives at Worlds in the play-ins. And although last year, I should say, we did see them get relatively close to knocking into the group stage. It sort of got sifted out there at the end. And I just want to see someone challenge Detonation Focus Me, because we usually just see such a greater boom in teams once you finally have that team that can contest, that can challenge the force that has just been bearing all for so long. I make comparison a lot, if you haven't heard it before, to TSM in North America. Before Cloud9 showed up, they just were the dominant force. Not many teams could hold up. They always just tore through every other team. Then Cloud9 showed up, and all of a sudden TSM looked like this weak bunch kids on the block that didn't know what they were doing. Cloud9 came in with their fancy shot calling with high, and all of a sudden, the game changed. People started respecting, oh, wait, maybe Korea knows what they're doing with like sort of setting up plays instead of just playing this win lane, win game strategy, which seems to be what Detonation Focus Me sort of relies on currently in many aspects. I haven't been too impressed with some of the plays that they set up. Sometimes there is proactive actions, but it seems pretty slow. All right, finally getting in the game here. But excited to see if either of these teams show some promise, can really set some momentum, demonstrate a vast depth of strategies here, and very interested in how Crest Gaming Act sort of plays this out with this team comp. I think Hachip Mecha, I mean, if he gets the chance to scale up, it's going to be beautiful. I mean, just hit R, run into the team, do what he likes to do usually, just smack himself into the other team, end up dying, do all that sweet AoE damage. He'll end up being A-okay for himself. But I think we'll need to get that support. And really think the jungle sort of fight here in the early levels is going to matter quite a bit. And there you have it, the Crest Gaming Act. They've got the 58% for themselves, but V3, they've got a respectable number of votes for themselves. It's not too dominant, so that's pretty exciting here. We got some believers on both sides. I mean, sure, Crest Gaming Act have got it for themselves right now, but we should see how this series develops. Now, again, I do know it goes to all 5. I don't know who takes it. Well, let's go ahead, look at these keystones here on both sides. Doesn't look like there's anything too obscenely crazy. Ooh, got 3 Conquerors on the side of E3, so they are ready to friggin' tussle on anybody. Ready to take it. Halo Blades on the Pantheon. Still don't know too much about Pantheon, respectively, to say, but should be enough power. Usually, it looks like we see Conqueror built on that Pantheon here. Legitimately no idea how this Mordekaiser Pantheon lane ends up working out. As, I mean, the rework for Pantheon and Mordekaiser only pretty recent, only seeing a little bit of them in pro play. Vivid getting here pretty low. No Ignite on Momo. Not willing to go for the kill secure, not wanting to blow the flash. I suppose they're still concerned about the damage output of Art. They just want to take this lane nice and slow. Large number of caster minions there maybe was the concern, as they're only both a level 1 and V3 and Vivid. Or Vivid and Utorimash. Already hitting level 2 there. So it does look like Luna has the early push. A lot of damage out of that Q from Pantheon. What a lot of people seem to not understand is how that skill does actually work. I know I think they updated it here as far as the damage output goes. But if you tap it, you do a lot of kind of AoE damage in front of you. Any targets hit does quite a bit of damage. If you throw it, it does increase that damage, but it only hits 1 target and slows. So he does actually can get a push advantage there. So that will definitely add in the favor of Karthus here, just cleaning out the waves. You can see both junglers just doing a full clear of their jungles. Nothing too crazy yet. I want to see this Olaf make a proactive move to get in the face of this Karthus, keep track of him so that you can put him down. I think, again, I do believe it's going to be this jungle matchup that really demonstrates how this game unfolds. Also want to see this Utorimash Vivid lane gradually build up their CS lead against this Ezreal, keep pushing him under turret, make it hard for them to stack up what they want to do. Luna really getting in the face of Ace here, absorbing so much damage for himself. Ace trying to stay healthy with the Mordekaiser. And we see this Olaf already roaming on into the jungle, getting that vision. They should have a general idea that Karthus is on the top side of the map. That lack of information, knowing where they are. A lot of vision committed, actually. Every single choke point on that side. So Paz should be playing back here. He does have the push currently. Just wants to get this farm, but he is going to get stunned. Here comes the Karthus. Wall does come out. Paz getting pretty low. Flash not used yet. Now flashing out of there. Paz not really respecting that lack vision for himself. I mean, they had the information based on the fact that they had so much vision bottom. They should have had a good idea that Hachimecha was topside, especially the way that Nap was playing. He was just kind of waiting for Paz to sort of move on up, and it's like, I mean, I'm not going to take this farm. I could, be safe here and take this farm, but I have the CS advantage. Maybe Paz not wanting to relinquish that. Well, he only just got that, but an unfortunate use of flash and teleport, so now that advantage does rely to Nap, so teleport will be available for Nap once level 6 does clock in here. Early Dragon could be on the table as Hachimecha position will be known here shortly. See some pings going on, so I think they have a pretty good idea that Baby is also shifting towards that top side of the map. So no real influence thus far. Hachimecha getting a sort of a free amount of pressure topside thus far. Not interfered at all on the farm front. Even going to find a control ward for himself. So a little disappointed with this so far. Luna waiting in the wings, making sure that nothing happens to Hachimecha, that if Olaf does show up, he can pop right on over and help out. And, ooh, speaking of Luna in the mid lane against Mordekaiser, almost a 20 CS difference here. That it does equate to about a kill. That is rough. I have to wait and see how Ace ends up taking this lane back, because this does not look promising for the Mordekaiser. Again, this was something that they opted into, as far as like something that they wanted. It does not feel too serendipitous right now for the Mordekaiser. So we see Baby getting that vision on that dragon. Now Olaf does pretty well getting the dragon by himself, making his way towards the bottom side. Vivin trying to find a way to engage. Just going to be jumping around, getting very, very low. I mean, Momo still not willing to go ahead and dive and drop the exhaust there. Baby to show up just in time to prevent that as well. I don't even think they had the vision advantage there. Crest Gaming Act just really taking this lane nice and slow. Vivid getting so low. The level 6 still a little bit of ways, I think, for Art. Not enough mana even to try and true shot barrage on that. But the CS lead not really coming up big for V3. They're actually getting bullied here quite a bit by Art on the Ezreal. Temple Art does coming in from both AD carries to go ahead and catch this wave. And Art holding on best he can. Hachimecha just getting kind of a free time here. I mean, Crest Gaming Act just kind of winning out in every lane so far. We see almost a 1k gold difference here, and that's just based on CS. That is getting quite concerning here. Is Hachimecha making his way towards topside. Renekton very comfortable with go ahead and moving in on Paz. Getting close to getting that turret plate. A little less than half. So those caster minions doing a little bit of work for him. Only one plate taken down in this game so far, and that does belong to the Xayah Rakan, as expected. But no significant CS lead. Vivid continuing to try and find a way to engage, but that Braum mitigating so much damage. For the side of Crest Gaming Act. So, level 6s and 7s all coming on in for these guys. Vivid and only the supports really waiting to hit 6 thus far. And hoping that maybe one of these teams make a play for the Dragon Rift Herald coming up here in a minute and a half. Or doing what he can with that true shot barrage, but nothing flying out just yet. What I'd like to see from Luna, though, is, or the side of Crest Gaming Act, considering that they do have those level 6s, those ultimates available. I kind of want to see that Grand Starfall come on in, maybe onto the bottom side of the map. It is a tough lane to gank against the Xayah Rakan. Try and force out the flashes like you had earlier, play off that. Maybe even look for a top. I think top might be your actually easiest option here, but want to see that Grand Starfall come on down, slam some people from the side of Crest Gaming Act. Follow that up with a nice Requiem from the Karthus, and that sounds like a pretty easy kill secure to me. But Karthus scaling on up, that's not a problem with the Dark Harvest. Just let them scale up gradually, build that up a little bit, build up the strength of your R, because there is decent scaling on the side of Crest Gaming Act. That Requiem does punch pretty hard. That is going to force a lot of magic resist on the side of V3, so a nice damage split. Nap, there we go. There's the Grand Starfall. Renekton going on in with the Requiem. That is what I wanted to see. Fantastic. Nice, easy cleanup. Sure, the Dragon gets taken on the side of V3. Maybe suspecting that the jungler was topside. But that was a nice, easy, quick kill. So first blood coming on in. Getting picked up from Karthus. And, ooh, Olaf going on to the bottom side. There goes the quickness from the Rakan. That's a 2 easy free kills. A nice dive by Baby. Coming in for the support of V3's bottom lane. Knowing that Karthus was probably off the map, or at least, yep, showed up mid. And it was just a nice, easy kill. Goodness gracious. Braum not even getting the chance to use his ultimate there to try and break things up. So nice proactive play. Nice quick flash grand entrance from the Rakan into the quickness to lock things up. And that's going to be a first turret for V3 as well. So huge cross-map play from the side of V3. They had the information and actually made a significant play there. A lot, like, it just goes to show you the amount of damage coming out from Olaf, the ability to just go ahead and smack people. Want to see that again. So Renekton to know the call. Luna making his way top. All that damage dropped in onto Paz. I feel like Paz is probably going to experience that a couple of times. And so just going along, they know Karthus. They don't even, I think the ultimate, so they did see Karthus there. And a ward, why are you going up to ward that right then? That seemed a little foolish to me. That was unnecessary. You probably had a pretty decent idea that, I mean, Dragon was just taken. You know Olaf is there. At most, maybe you ward the bush behind the turret. You don't go up there when you have a feeling, oh, Olaf could be here. It's sort of setting yourself up for a death. And it was just so easy, like once the flash was used by Braum, he had to get out of there, and Rakan was able to do grand entrance into quickness. Just easy CC lockup on the side of V3. And with that turret getting taken down, ooh, Baby in the area again. Nap goes in, but I think he went in a little bit too far. Paz dropping the ultimate. Has no turret to fall back to. Hachimecha onto the backside, but can't really do much as a Karthus except to show up and maybe drop a Q. But that is so much damage quickly coming out from the side of V3. Nice play by Baby to come in through the lane. Sort of taking care of the negligence of Nap there, thinking that he's way too comfortable in that lane. Had the CS advantage, and Baby on the hunt for Hachimecha, going to be forcing his flash likely, but Hachimecha getting so low. Flash for flash there by V3. Luna following up there, but Baby's not scared. He's got the attack speed increase. Paz and Ace now coming on in, going to lock up a kill for themselves onto the Luna as well. So disrespect by Hachimecha. Olaf finally on the hunt for Karthus here after getting those 2 kills. He is very comfortable with that. Knows that he can just go ahead and shred through the Karthus so easily. And with that flash being down, that's going to be even harder for Karthus to go ahead and run away from that. I think you got to keep in mind is, yes, Karthus has the Wall of Pain, but what does that matter to Olaf? He's just going to pop Ragnarok and go ahead and get out of there. So the next objective on the field is going to be this Rift Herald. It's likely not going to be taken down before turret plating drops here. As far as turret plates going down, looks like about 4 taken down for the side of 4 going to the side of Crest Gaming Act, and about 7 going to the side of V3. So a substantial amount of gold there as they get there. A bit of a gold lead, a little bit than 1K right now is that farm advantage on the top side, really sort of driving into that. But if Paz can just be that CC bot in team fights, he does not need to win this lane. We kind of see that sometimes out of Impact. I think he's the first and foremost person that I think of as far as getting put on the Aatrox. I think he has improved as a carry performer, but I think a lot of people do know that when he does play something like an Aatrox, he is sort of that front line, front to back, sort of what you would think of traditionally as a tank line, to just act as a CC bot and make sure that he kind of regulates the fight and lets the carries do the damage. And Acts as a way to just knock up people and keep everybody healthy and safe. And I think Paz is sort of fulfilling that role a little bit as well, as Baby sort of opening up this map. So we got another dragon, another Cloud Drake. Cloud Drake not favored by many, but having two, especially on an Olaf, to continue to run down everybody, because there's no one that has enough damage, I think, that is going to be able to help Baby or take down Baby quickly enough. Sort of deal with that damage threat. You've got complete vision control on the bottom side of the map. I imagine Olaf just going to go ahead, and we already see the ping heading on over to the bottom side to take that. I think Crest Gaming probably have a pretty decent idea that they don't have a lot of vision right now on that bottom side of the map. Probably think that Baby is in fact doing that, so they're just going to go ahead and say, all right, go ahead, have the dragon. We're going to get the Rift Herald for ourselves so that we can actually get a turret. Even though we do not get the sweet benefit of the plates, we're going to go ahead and that. But V3, not interested in giving this over for 3, actually going to come on over. The Rift Herald, I think it is still going to go over to Crest Gaming Act. They do go ahead and pick it, but V3 going in onto the fight. Hachimecha already getting relatively low on the backside of the fight, and he's going to not be able to dish out a lot of damage actually here once he gets taken out. Trying to drop out Q's as best as he can. Utorimash, though, doing work onto the backside of the fight, onto Luna. Requiem coming out. Pantheon is going to be falling down as well, so 2 for 1 as of right now. Only the jungler V3 coming on out, so shutdown gold there. But looks like this fight advantage does come out for V3 in the end, and I think they'll be able to get that turret. Crest Gaming Act going to head towards mid. They do not have access to the Rift Herald, as that is on the Karthus. We do see the teleport coming on out to answer that and prevent that from coming in. And ooh, almost a catch onto Art there, but the phase shift away on the Ezreal go ahead and gets him safe. But that is another turret in the pockets of V3. So, crazy fight there. I mean, Crest Gaming Act, sure, they got the Rift Herald, but another advantage going over to V3 as they ended up winning that fight. So, go ahead, see how this plays out. Sorry about that, guys. Had a pop up there, got a little bit distracted. I'm just reading the notification. Anyways, back to the game. Apologize. Thought I'd respond to something really quick. But we are good to keep on going. So advantage to V3. It looks like they're making their move towards the inner parts of the jungle, trying to continue to keep track of Hachimecha and keep him down best they can, at least kill him when he does show up on the map. Olaf comfortably just hanging out in the jungle. Going to be seeing that Q come out and just instantly clearing the wave. Maybe down a little bit too deep. The Iceborne Gauntlet going to keep Baby slow. Is he going to have to flash? Grand Starfall coming on in, but not going to hit any targets here. A little bit of that confusion negates the engage onto V3 from Crest Gaming Act. Rift Herald getting dropped on mid. But with Crest Gaming Act showing up mid lane, V3 are more than happy to go ahead and take this fight. They will be able to get this turret, but Rakan going on in for the engage. The quickness does keep them locked up. Knockouts coming in from Paz. V3 going to be able to get the first kill onto Karthus. Still dealing a little bit of damage here. Maybe trying to do what he can, getting relatively low. But Crest Gaming Act keep looking very worse for the wear. Going to get pulled back in. Luna forced to flash there. As Mordekaiser does try and pull him back in, and Crest Gaming Act taking the worst end of this trade yet again, is Hachimecha does not have the survivability to go ahead and stay in these fights, just get knocked out immediately by V3, although he is getting damage out. He didn't even get the chance to end up using the Requiem. Crest Gaming Act, going to last-ditch effort to go ahead and keep this turret in line just long enough, but Hachimecha not even able to use his ultimate there. Maybe he didn't think it was worth it, as none of the targets of V3 had been taken down low enough. But Crest Gaming Act, they really need to try slowing the pace of this game down. I think that it was a little bit misaligned use of the Rift Herald. I'm not sure the timer on that, but Vivid just dropping the quickness, going to lock everybody up. Easy access for V3 and Paz on the side of the fight, especially, even though Art was dealing a little bit of damage there. But so many targets. Utorimash so healthy. Able to deal out some damage here. as well. And V3 just taking the fight, looking so much better in these fights. This is kind of my concern for Hachimecha, is as far as just being on a champion that just dies quickly in the fight. I mean, like, maybe on paper it makes sense for him to be on Karthus, but Karthus is just going to get popped so quickly in these fights. And there's so many like ways for the side of V3 to stay healthy and just avoid the Karthus damage, that it sort of falls apart to a certain point where this Karthus pick is going to just starts feeling worse and worse down the road. When a third Cloud Drake, that is when things get really scary, and I don't see any way for Crest Gaming Act to actually pick this up. That's going to be such, I mean, 3 Cloud Drakes, they're going to be flying around the map, and I mean, champions that you don't want to have Cloud Drake, Olaf is pretty close to the top as far as one of those that you absolutely do not want to have 3 Cloud Drakes. Everybody's going to be able to go ahead, just get a free pair of Nikes running so fast, just seeing the wind beneath their wings of Zion Rakand. They can be trucking on around. See the items here coming on in for all these guys. Not a huge split on the item divergence just yet as far as the item advantage goes. I mean, the crits coming on out, the Infinity Edge and Essence Reaver actually not even opting for a attack speed item yet out of the Zaya. Maybe just hoping for more crits throughout the build here. Try and stay safe. But with 20 minutes clocking on in, Baron is going to be the next target. We see that V3 slowly clearing out vision, getting that vision advantage. And I feel like this has been another major point of the game so far. Crest Gaming Act not really doing a lot for vision clearing. I mean, it feels like rather poor attempts as far as, I mean, V3 just having such a strong vision advantage as of right now. Ooh, Torimash might be getting caught here. A miscue from Art, though, might keep him safe. Going to drop the ulti. Just back out of that fight. Make sure that he doesn't die, because they do not want Crest Gaming Act to get that fight advantage, because if they do end up taking down the 80 carry, that could make things a tad more difficult for the side of V3 in these fights, because they do want those crits to be coming through. But just bouncing around, just playing this sweet old Baron dance as both teams try and get a catch, just set up vision for themselves. I mean, V3, Crest Gaming Act, I'm sorry, has not had the chance in the slightest to go ahead and make a move on getting vision for this Baron. V3 just sort of waiting for Crest Gaming Act to make the wrong move, get that catch, as they keep bouncing back waves. And this is exactly what they should be doing. They are getting that vision advantage, trying to find the catches where they are, but nothing falling in just yet. But Adi and Momo maybe out a little bit too far. Does get pulled back by the Mordekaiser. Did not able to get the knock-up from the Rakan there. Very close stuff. Flash, though, forced from Braum, which is pretty pivotal, considering that as far as engage goes on the side of Crest Gaming Act, it's not great. I mean, what do you have? You have a Renekton that can sort of jump in and try and get a stun. Wall of Pain to slow down the targets, but, I mean, got Olaf that's going to avoid that. Grand Starfall, it's hard to hit that ultimate unless they're in sort of a choke point. And then it's Braum ultimate, which is, Glacial Fissure is great, but it's sort of hard to make that your source of engage. The end of the day, whoa, a lot of thunder coming on in. Goodness. Oh, never mind. That's the trash. Hopefully that is not getting picked up by the microphone. It absolutely is, so that grand old rumbling. The trash coming on by. Trash getting picked up, I should say. But, ooh, if it was getting picked up, an easy step away from that, though. Another Mountain Drake popping up here in a minute 30. Cannot see how Crest Gaming Act can contest that, as we just sort of hit this slow rustling of the game. Waiting for either team to go ahead and make their move. Because V3, they don't want to... Well, I think they could take Baron very easily. They want, Yutorimash to get some more items for himself so that help take that down a little bit easier. And I mean, and a quick Requiem is going to make that easy at Grand Starfall. It is easy for Crest Gaming to act on objectives if they need to, and I think Baron is definitely one of those that they want to act on because the majority of V3 will be there at that objective. Go ahead and taking care of that. Ooh, Yutorimash getting taken pretty low by the Baron, going to be forced to base. This might be an opportunity for Crest Gaming Act to make a move and fight for that vision, or maybe set up for Mountain Drake. Crest Gaming Act going to pause the Ghost Blade. Not able to make a move. Finally breaking their way in to get fight for vision of that Baron pit. But we got a Mountain Drake, which I think Crest Gaming Act should prioritize here just a bit, but I don't think they're going to. I think they're just going to sort of take the consolation prize of finally getting vision onto the Baron pit. But as more as I was saying on the discussion, while they are probably more committed to fighting off for a Baron fight, they don't want to take that dragon, and V3 just sort of work their way in to get that turret when there are a lot of members of Crest Gaming Act just kind of on the side lanes. Like I feel like that was prime time for Crest Gaming Act to act. I mean, not intending to say that twice, but felt maybe they're getting a little too scared here, which is unfortunate because they need to make something happen as another Mountain Drake falls over to V3. Because, yeah, at Crest Gaming Act, they don't want to commit to one target, right? They don't have any vision there. They want to keep their vision on the Baron pit. Wish I knew how many stacks on this Dark Harvest were on Karthus, maybe about how much that damage approximation. It's so easy for Rakan to get in and out of those fights. Go ahead and do some cheeky warding on his own versus the Braum, who needs to jump to a target. Blue and red buff going over to Yutorimash, so want to pour those into him. I mean, hey, Mordekaiser doesn't need it, so who cares? It's fine. So GA completed on Olaf, so not only will he be able to run in at you, but his tyranny will happen twice. V3, go ahead, clearing that Baron vision. This game really coming to a standstill. 4 Drakes out so far. Another one will be coming through because that 30-minute timer did not clock over just yet. V3 probably in a bit more of a comfortable position to go ahead and force this Baron now. I'm sure they would love, though, to get Nap to force a teleport, as they do have 3 teleports on their side. Maybe go ahead and force that. But, ooh, nice cheeky Baron here. Baby and Yutorimash can very easily take that. The Scrying Orb will go ahead and see them. We do see the teleport, but this is going to be, ooh, True Shot Barrage coming in a little bit too late there. Death Grab grabbing Hachimeka, already very low. Yutorimash forced to flash. That's completely fine. V3 going to try and get the better end of this deal, but Ace going to go on in. We see the Grand Starfall not hitting any target. Luna in on the backside on his own. Nap trying to get on in as well. Yutorimash going to be able to lock him up. Getting very low. Luna got to be taken down. Renekton taken down as well. We see the Requiem coming in. Should be able to pick up a kill on the other side as well. And that's actually only 2 members taken down for V3, while 4 ended up getting taken down from Crest Gaming Act. A little confused in the middle of that fight as far as just Luna and Nap diving so hard into the backline trying to get those kills, but did not come through. And the Requiem just sort of tickling the guys at the end. I thought that was at least going to take few more targets out. I'm comfortable with taking that fight, getting that stat bonus. It's only Momo out here on his own defending. It should be a quick game finish here. We see them shredding through that turret. All members, though, of Crest Gaming Act alive. Momo going to get taken down here very quickly. Still not able to get on Momo. Going to be dropping the ulti on for the Feather Call. And actually going to kill the Renekton before he can do anything. Taking out Luna as well. Yutorimash staying alive this entire time. Hachimeka getting taken out. And although all members of Crest Gaming Act do come back alive, they're going to essentially get aced again, nearly. Karthus maybe close to getting killed there. But Luna might art a little bit too far forward. Don't let him have another ace, man. Come on. Oh, ooh. All right. It's going to be 2 aces or an ace back-to-back would have felt pretty rough, or near ace to ace. But, geez, V3 just coming out way better. A lot more gold in their pockets. We saw the sort of discrepancy there between the Olaf and Karthus. I think Crest Gaming Act really need to rethink their strategy there. I liked the Grand Skyfall, Renekton, Requiem, Karthus ulti coming out. That looked cool, but then Olaf answered immediately on their side of the map. If they want to do that Karthus build, they really need to respect what that Olaf can do, those easy turret dives. Smite coming on in perfectly. Deathgrass getting Hachimeko so low for that fight already. We see Baby onto the backside. They're not really bothering him, but I mean, Olaf's going to almost take out Karthus immediately from the fight. Luna in on the backside. Hachimeka not even really contributing in that fight at all. Trying so hard to get in your Torimash, but he stays alive. Already even jumping onto the backside, but the stopwatch going to keep him plenty safe. Requiem coming on out, and Karthus was just not a part of that fight at all. And that's mainly a result of Baby just keeping him busy into the pit. Miscommunication there, I think. I think Nap maybe saw something that the others didn't, just said, we got to go, we got to pull the trigger, they're split up here, maybe we can make something happen, but it just felt like Hachimeka was not involved in this game at all, and credit to Torimash staying alive in those fights and getting work done. But anyways, that is game one. Looks like we'll have an exciting series on our side, considering that, again, Crest Gaming Act were the favorites coming into this match. They had the fan vote, they had the winning, the higher win average of the split. Whoa, there's just so much damage coming out there. But going to be heading on to game two. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And maybe I'll be awake for this game two so that I can actually cast instead of looking at the screen all day. But anyways, thanks for listening, and catch you next game.